number 3, chasing Big Joe on this Monday, 102.5 The Game. He's Nick Frazier. I'm Chase McCabe. Brandon Bigsby on the ones and twos. Big Joe down in Key West having a good time. We say hello now to John McClain, who joins us from Houston. John, how you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
We're doing fantastic. Owners meetings going on in Phoenix. You've talked about, attending these before and how much you enjoyed them. What do we truly expect to get accomplished this week?
Not a damn thing unless you're talking about a rule that you'd be interested in. I remember when instant replay was being bandied about. It was a big year. It was a big decision every year, and everybody was interested in it. They did it originally on a trial basis before they voted it in permanently, and it's been one of the best things that's ever happened to the NFL. But last year at this time, the rules were all about the tush push, and Roger Goodell didn't want it. It barely passed, and now it's not even a consideration. So whatever happened to make everybody change their mind is kind of mind-boggling to me, considering Goodell did not want it last year. Another thing they do, agents are there. Agents are there for each team still have unsigned players. Agents are there for free agents who still haven't signed. And agents are there for draft choices to gauge interest in their players. The NFL league meetings, which rotate cities, my favorite was Honolulu, Maui. They used to go to Maui every 4 years. It was Maui, Palm Desert, California. It was Miami or Palm Beach. Palm Beach, Florida, and Orlando. And then they moved. They didn't go to South Florida. They went to Arizona. Arizona is my favorite. The Biltmore in Scottsdale, since they got rid of Maui because owners didn't want to go that far as they got older. The one year it rained every day, so the wives couldn't hang out by the pool, so they decided they wouldn't go back. They have a big party from the league to kick it off. Having the coaches available for interviews is the best thing that teams can have because you haven't been able to get a lot of them at the combine. They just don't do them. So you have to be able to be interviewed during AFC, NFC coaches interviews if you show up. Coaches don't have to show up. And so it's a lot of talking. I remember one time I was playing golf. We got the early tee time in Arizona. We teed off in the dark. We get in about 10 o'clock. I go to the media room. I see a guy from Denver. I said, did I miss anything? He said, no, not really. Pete resigned. I said, Pete who? Pete Rozelle. And I'm like, holy bleep. Thank goodness there was no internet. I had a chance to catch up with people telling me what happened when he walked in there and shocked everybody and resigned. And that was one of the biggest stories. If you're trying to get Super Bowls, you're lobbying expansion teams, our city's trying to get teams to move there. There's always a lot of BSing going on in the hallways, in the little nooks you can find. And sometimes owners, they're right there with you. They can't get away from you. Sometimes owners will stop and talk. I was amazed. There used to be media. The only time their owner talked all year was at those March meetings, and I felt terrible for them. I've never had a situation like that, including with Bud Adams, who made himself available after every victory. Now, those were few and far between some years, but at least Bud was available.
John McClain is with us here on the program. Do you think we get closer to 18 games after this week?
I don't know. We're going to 18. It's just a matter of when they can get it with the players. They're going to have to give them 2 bye weeks. They're going to the NFL used to start on Labor Day weekend, so ratings were always down. They started in a hole. But now they may believe they transcended Labor Day and they can start that weekend. But I think there's a reason everybody gets that weekend off, and the last games are on Thursday. I think they should extend the Super Bowl later into February because the NFL So what? What does it matter when they play the Super Bowl? They could play it on opening day of the baseball season, and it wouldn't hurt the NFL. But, boy, if people are riding around the country in their cars, maybe now they could, want them driving and looking at their phones. But the times have certainly changed since they decided not to begin the season on Labor Day. I think it's imperative players have 2 weekends off. I think what I would do with 18 games, I would have everybody start off, play a game in another country, come back, have Labor Day weekend off, and then start playing the next week when people are used to the season starting. There's all kind of possibilities, but no, I don't. If they decide they're going to do it, it'll still be down the road before it's implemented.
John, you mentioned the ratings at the beginning of the season are not the best, and obviously starting off this upcoming season is going to be in Melbourne, Australia for the 49ers. What do you see the outcome of all this when it comes to the ratings?
I think that the NFL at this point, they don't want games played, Nick, when everybody's taking off. They want them around the TVs or around their phones or laptops or however, sports bars, however they're going to watch it. And I know I'll be watching in Melbourne. I want to know more about Melbourne and the Melbourne Ticket Club than I care about the teams. One of the reasons I watch them is because all the things that the networks put on about that city, about the stadium, the fans. I know all about the teams. And, yeah, I'll pay attention to the games, but that's not what fascinates me.
Yeah, and also, too, we were talking about product here earlier about the NFL. Right now, the NFL Referees Association trying to negotiate some deals for potential raises. I mean, I don't think NFL fans want to see the product be terrible, but looking at the potential of having interim referees, I feel like that only hurts the league rather than helps it right now.
Well, it does, and everybody's using the last one, the Hail Mary. That was one play out of every play that they had with the replacement officials. But everybody, goes to that one. I didn't realize the officials make they're offering them $350,000. I just read either they're being offered that or they already make it. And I'm trying to find out, where do I apply to become an NFL official? I'm looking at it right here in the Athletic. Says the NFL's offered a 6.45% yearly increase for officials who have been paid an average of $350,000 per season. And I'm thinking they're asking for a 10% raise. My goodness, sign me up. 6.45% more of $350. I'm in.
Hey, forward that to me as well, John. I'll apply as well.
Yeah, I think, but I'm getting the first job, Nick. You can get the second one.
Sounds good.
There you go. We'll have more with John McClain coming up next here on Chase and Big Joe on this Monday on 102.5 The Game. Little new edition bringing us back. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, and continuing with John McClain down in Houston. John, we had 10 new coaches hired this year, some, with their second or third opportunity, and some new hires, as we've talked to you, and obviously Robert Saleh is one of those here with the Titans. When you look at the 10, so Joe Brady with the Bills, Mike LaFleur with the Cardinals, Kevin Stefanski goes to the Falcons, Jesse Mentor to the Ravens, Todd Monken to the Browns, Clint Kubiak, who you know very well, to the Raiders, Jeff Hafley goes to the Dolphins, John Harbaugh to the Giants, Mike McCarthy to the Steelers, and then I mentioned Robert Saleh coming here to the Titans. Which of those do you feel has the best opportunity to have the best first year with their new team?
Well, I'm going to say John Harbaugh because John is the most accomplished a Super Bowl winner whose teams, ever since he's been head coach, have been a Super Bowl contender. They got another premium pick. They got a second-year quarterback they're high on. They got a great pass rush, and the division doesn't look particularly strong. I don't think anybody's going to be picking Philadelphia to go to the Super Bowl. I know they're not going to pick Dallas or Washington. So I would say a team poised to make a big leap. Worst at first, I would pick Detroit because it was almost freakish that they finished last. By the way, I was listening yesterday to a mock draft nationally and having the Titans taking a pass rusher, and one of the reasons was that Mike Begonzi came from the Chiefs. So does that mean automatically he's happy with a back in the 7th round? And they did draft they used Kareem Hunt, who's a kid from LSU before him that got hurt.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, Edwards-Helaire. But we don't know. Mike Begonzi wasn't banging on the office door saying, we got to take this running back.
Right.
We don't know. He wasn't just agreeing with everything. And if they hadn't had Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks in history, they wouldn't have put so little emphasis on the running back position. And now we're not saying Cam Ward's going to be Patrick Mahomes. And then I'm reading a chart in The Athletic about all the backs taken in the top 10 since 2010. They list 10 of them. I think only one had a winning record. Well, a lot of that is who's drafting them. Terrible teams are drafting them. What about the defensive ends who are picked in the top 10? Did they all of a sudden start winning? As I talked to you guys last week, when the Titans are thinking about David Bailey or Arvell Reese or Reuben Bain, think about Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson. Those guys are great pass rushers. Only one of them's been in a Super Bowl and he lost, and that was Hendrickson. But to me, and they leave out stuff about running backs who've helped transform franchises when they're paired with a quarterback, like the Titans were, like the Oilers were with Earl Campbell and Dan Pastorini, and like we've seen the Titans multiple times with Tannehill and Derrick Henry. And so that's why I think that they will draft Jeremiah Love, and if they don't, the cheering will be so loud in Houston, Jacksonville, and Indianapolis, you guys will be able to hear it in Nashville.
I understand. I mean, Nick asked me earlier if it's between Bain and Love. I basically copped out and said I'd be fine with either one. But I certainly, as we've talked about, you get a playmaker for Cam Ward with Love at 4. That's only going to be a good thing. My question would be then, if you did that at 4, at 35, are you still looking at offense? Because I would, John. If the right receiver's there at 35, I'm taking him.
He needs a receiver. He needs a running back. And if they pass up David Bailey from Texas Tech for Reuben Bain, I think they'd be making a big mistake because Bailey gets off the ball faster than any pass rusher in this draft. And I've watched him, and that kid is unbelievable, plays hard all the time, is a great guy. But how many games do pass rushers win? How many games has Myles Garrett won as a pass rusher? Has he scored touchdowns? What's he done? He's not like J.J. Watt catching 5 touchdown passes in one season. Maybe it's and I don't like to think I'm old-fashioned. Saquon Barkley went to the Giants, and his record was terrible. Oh, then he gets to go to a new team, and it's a good team, and he wins a Super Bowl, which they left that out, of course.
That is right, absolutely. John, also looking at just elsewhere around the NFL, Dallas Cowboys, once again in the headlines. It seems to be George Pickens potentially won't see the offseason training camp, whatever that may be for the Cowboys. Should Cowboys fans be worried, or is this just something that comes status quo being a Cowboys fan?
What the Cowboy fans should be worried about is how George Pickens acts and plays when he gets his big contract, whether he accepts the franchise tag, which is not going to happen. They'll work out a long-term agreement because it helps their salary cap to get a deal done. The problem is Jackson Smith-Njigba, now Puka Nacua, all of a sudden those guys are jumping up over $40 million. I would not pay George Pickens that kind of money based on his history unless he had a lot of bonuses in there. People are just ignoring what he did with the Steelers. And it was a lot of the things he did were egregious. There was one famous play where he's standing by the goal line, a back, I think it was a running back, running for a touchdown, needed to block the last guy, and he just stood there and let the guy get tackled, and they ran it over and over and over. And I've always wondered what was he thinking about that? But if if it hurts the Cowboys, I'm all for it.
And then also to a few draft prospects, one of them in particular, Clemson's quarterback, Avion Terrell, obviously is projected first-round talent, but had a little bit of a hamstring issue. Should that be a concern for his draft stock, and could that be a potential maybe second-round gift to some teams in the NFL?
Nick, I don't think there's any injury unless it's your back, because the miracles of modern medicine, what the teams have as far as rehab experts, facilities, medicine, everything you need. A hamstring will heal if you give it enough time to heal and you handle it correctly. Even ACLs, which used to be, oh my God, his career's over. He tore his, they didn't call it ACL, anterior cruciate ligament, and then it got to be like, FBI. We used it so much, everybody knew what it was. So I don't think there's any injury unless it's long term.
And then Sean McVay said, I believe it was at the owners' meetings today, about weighing the opportunity of Kirk Cousins as a backup, considered trading Devontae Adams at the time. What are your thoughts on just that potentially happening?
Well, if I'm Kirk Cousins and I want to be a chance to go to the Super Bowl and not play, then I'm going to look for a team like that. Plus, it could extend my career. And Matthew Stafford is going to be or is 38. But the way he plays, a pocket passer, his accuracy and arm strength do not seem to have debilitated at all. He throws as pretty a ball as anybody in football. You may have to sign 2 contracts before you get a chance to play, and Cousins is almost as, or might be as old as Stafford is. If I'm Cousins, I'm calling Arizona. And I'm saying, you need a quarterback. Give me a chance to compete with Jacoby Brissett. And on a 1-year deal, Cousins gets a chance to play at some point. He looks good. Cardinals are bad. They get a quarterback next year. Makes him a more attractive free agent.
John McClain is with us here on the program. You told us a story about Bud Adams in the bathroom at the owners' meetings. Are there any others that stand out to you?
Boy, you caught me off guard because that.
I know, I should have given you a heads up. I'm sorry.
That one was involving me. I'm sure I could think of a lot of them, but not straight off the top of my head like that.
Did you, by the time the owners' meetings came around in, I guess, 95 or 96, when had word gotten out that he was moving the team?
I started going, I think, to the owners' meetings in 85. And Bud had tried to get a new stadium. People here didn't take him seriously because when he threatened to move to Jacksonville, unless the Astrodome was expanded by 7,500 seats, which they did, people raised all kind of hell about it because it was Bud. And then when Bud got on the finance committee, and every deal an owner got from a city, whether it was a practice facility or a stadium, those things came by his desk, and he had the worst lease in the league. The Astros were his landlord. The Astros did a terrible job. They couldn't tailgate. The field was in terrible shape. So, he wanted a better lease or he wanted a new stadium, and we started to get rumblings of it after the 93 season when they went 12-4. And had the best defense in the NFL, coached by Buddy Ryan. You talk about bad timing. They went from 12-4 to 2-14, biggest one-season drop in history at the time. But that's how they ended up getting Jeff Fisher, who turned out to be great for the organization.
John, great stuff as always. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
And by the way, I thought you were paying Nick $350. That must have been Joe.
Yeah.
That's why Joe's not here today.
Something like that.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. John McClain joins us every Monday at 2:00. I pulled up the stick to the model, to do like a mock draft or whatever.
Yeah.
And it offered me some trades with the Titans, and I don't think any of these would ever happen, but they were intriguing enough that I kind of wanted to throw them by you.
Okay.
When we come back, because when I saw them, I'm like, interesting. And this is all post-free agency, too. We'll do that coming up next. Chasing Big Joe with Nick in for Big Joe today, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. And our fine show is presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel. We'll be there on Thursday. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier in for Big Joe through Wednesday, and JoJo will be back on Thursday. Brandon Bigsby hanging out as well. Appreciate John McClain for joining us. You guys have been using the Stick to the Model website to do, off-season simulations when it comes to the Titans, and I was like, I'm going to look at the draft. Well, the roster is set currently after free agency, and so I then get to the trade offer portion, and I have been offered some trades. There are 3 teams in this simulation that have offered trades for Calvin Ridley.
Oh, boy.
The first being the Denver Broncos have offered me 2026 pick 108 and pick 111 for Calvin Ridley.
Give that to me immediately.
However, the Buffalo Bills have offered pick 91 and pick 126 for Calvin Ridley. And the Atlanta Falcons have offered pick 79 to send him back to Atlanta. So which one is more intriguing to you?
That first one was what, the 8th overall and 11th overall, correct?
Well, these are 108. So
108, my bad.
Yeah. So pick 108, pick 111, that sends him to Denver. Pick 91, pick 126, sends him to Buffalo. Pick 79 sends him back to Atlanta.
Give me Buffalo. I think Buffalo's the right move.
I think I like that too.
Because that keeps you within the top 100 for that first pick, and then you kind of get the last. I wouldn't say the last little scrummage of picks, but you're still inside the top 150 after that.
All right, so we have added $15.5 million to the cap.
Beautiful.
And a couple of draft picks. The next trade that has been offered is the Cincinnati Bengals are offering cornerback DJ Turner for the 66th overall pick.
I don't know if I can say yes to that.
I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
I don't like that one. The Detroit Lions are offering pick 157 for running back Tony Pollard.
All right. Now this is where it gets dicey, Chase. If you can offload Tony Pollard to a team that is willing to just say yes.
What's 157, like the 5th round?
I think 5th. Yeah, 5th, borderline 6th, right? Because I'd be okay with that.
That's the 5th round.
The reason why I say yes to that trade is because that then solidifies Jeremiah Love at 4, and then that says, we can offload Tony Pollard off the books, which is not a lot. And then I don't know what Detroit's thinking in that case because they now have a 3-headed running back room, right? They have Jahmyr Gibbs.
Well, they traded Montgomery.
Yeah, traded Montgomery. Then it would be Tony Pollard and Gibbs, and there's another player I'm thinking of.
Maybe.
I'll look real quick.
Yeah, I thought about countering with the 4th. They don't like that. I'll take it.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
I'll take it. And then the last one, which I'm saying not no, but hell no to, but I'll see what you think. The Pittsburgh Steelers want pick 142 for cornerback Jalen Ramsey. No, thank you.
Look, I love bringing him home. That'd be fun.
Nah, I don't want him anywhere near this team.
The poor guy transitioned. I'm not saying the poor guy. He's definitely a rich man. But you look at the way that he was playing in Pittsburgh, they kind of transitioned him into a safety role a little bit. Like he doesn't have the lateral movement anymore to play outside. I mean, that's just me. But they played him a lot more over the top than they did out left or right.
Yeah. So I'm good. I'm good not doing that.
When you send the fax over to Pittsburgh, if they still do faxes, Chase, make sure to put in red ink, hell to the no. Just make sure that's in there.
So now free agency pops up. Obviously still need to address that guard situation. And so we'll see what they end up doing there. But I love this website. This is so much fun.
It's fantastic because you get lost in the sauce. You're like, maybe I make this move. Maybe I do this move. And you're just like, no, let me just continue about my day. Like it is a tough thing to do because like if I have other stuff to do outside of, yard work or just elsewhere outside radio stuff, I'm like, golly, let's go stick to the model. And I just get stuck in here. It's a dark hole of just football.
Now that hypothetically we traded Calvin Ridley, receivers that are available, Deebo Samuel's out there, Tyreek Hill, no thank you, Stephon Diggs, no thank you, Jawan Jennings, Keenan Allen, Gabe Davis, he passed away. Sorry. Should probably take him off of here.
Yeah, it's all right. T's and P's.
So, I mean, are there any receivers that you would consider? I
mean, you mentioned Jawan Jennings. At that point, you open up $15 million getting rid of Calvin Ridley. I think you can do that now. You can go sign, Jawan Jennings to whatever he wants per se, because before you go into all this, the Titans roughly had $68 or $63.5 million. So you have funny money to play around with. If you open up $15 more million, that's enough to put a guy like Jawan Jennings on this roster.
What if we said we're gonna offer him a 1-year deal, a 1-year prove it deal? His market value is 13.2. I'd do that.
I would do that. I don't think he would say yes. I think he's looking.
Well, let's see.
He's looking for something that's like 3 years.
1 year, 13.2. He takes it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I have a question for you guys on the Jawan Jennings front. Do you think that might be redundant of signing Wan'Dale Robinson, considering that both of them primarily operate from the slot?
Potentially. Yeah. I mean, I think that it's a fair question. Yeah. I think Robinson can play a little more outside than maybe he has. But, I mean, that certainly is a risk you run into.
There's a difference when it comes to high balls and matching stuff like that, because Jawan Jennings obviously has the size over a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson. I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, I could see Jawan Jennings making a little bit more outside movement than there is playing him in the slot. I think they may flex him out, if that is the case, if he comes to play for Tennessee.
Okay, so we have been asked, what do you think the Titans get for Will Levis? Let's do we want to see what we can find here?
I'm thinking maybe a 7th rounder. I think that's pretty fair. 7th round, maybe a 7th round and an autographed football for Matthew Stafford. I'm cool with that.
All right, hang on. We're going to add Will Levis here and pick a team.
Los Angeles Rams.
The Rams?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Los Angeles Rams. We'll see if they don't. I don't think they have a 4th. They have pick 93, and then next is pick 207.
I'll take 207, but if they want to give away 93, I'm right with that too. It's a top 100 pick.
Let's try it. I don't think they're going to take it, but let's try it. Pick 93. No, they don't like that.
Yeah, give me 207. I'm all right with that. I was just asking for 3 more footballs instead of 1.
Is there a player? Is there anybody that
on the Rams roster that I like? Let's see. That is a great question.
I know they said they might consider trading Davante Adams.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd take that straight up.
I don't know if they do that straight up. And plus of all this stuff that's going on off the football field right now with Puka Nacua, I don't know if they're going to use Davante Adams as their safety net if Nacua is not available at the beginning of the season. I don't know, looking at some players, because the reason why I mentioned the Rams and any trade value whatsoever.
They don't like it. They don't like it for pick 207.
I mean, do you guys just want them for free? We'll give them to you for free. I'm all right with that. I look at the Rams as
Let's try 232.
Yeah, maybe that works. The Rams, they draft so young. They don't want nothing. Well, you know what? Maybe the Rams.
Right, we're moving on from the Rams.
Yeah, bye Rams.
What if you attached a pick along with Will Levis for Davante Adams? I'd be curious about that. If they're actually interested in exploring it, like let's say you attached 101 with Will Levis for Davante Adams. How realistic could that be?
Okay. All right. Will Levis and pick, what'd you say, 101?
Yeah, 101, that 4th rounder.
For Davante? No, they don't like it.
You know what I would do? How about this? If the Rams don't want to give away any picks, whatever, just give me David Quisenberry and you guys get Will Levis. That's a former Titan. That's a guy that knows, I'd say for the most part, Titans offense. He's an offensive tackle. You need a swing tackle in some aspects. I know they got the guy from the Chargers, the Austin Deculus guy from L.A., so maybe you use that, but I think Quisenberry might be a good option.
They like it.
Okay, let's do it. Beautiful.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Do we want to extend him?
Nah, 1 year. I'm
okay.
good with it.
All right. They took it. So
Beautiful.
there you go. Will Levis for Quisenberry.
You're welcome, Titans fans. You're welcome. Just trying to solve the world's problems all one step at a time.
That's something.
Because
I love this website.
I am very curious about Dan Moore Jr. this year. If he actually, I mean, again, wasn't terrible last year at left tackle, but you now have a core to build around, and you want to make sure that left tackle spot is solidified for the future. And if it's not, then obviously they have the opt-out after this year, but would like to have something set in stone a little bit before you kind of just say, hey, you can play these 17 games this season.
All right, here we go. A quick draft.
Oh, boy.
Sorry. It's doing like the instant pick.
Yeah.
So we went Jeremiah Love.
Beautiful.
At 4th overall.
Beautiful.
So.
And Borgonzi's listening right now. He's thinking, all right, we're going to get Jeremiah Smith in 27. We'll get this all situated. I'm telling you, I'm all about this Jeremiah Smith train. I've been preaching this bad boy
you are. And
since December.
People agreed with you.
We're doing this. Jeremiah Love and Jeremiah Smith. We're going to bring Jeremiah's to Nashville.
Yeah. So there you go. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays. It's Chasing Big Joe with Dr. Crane and Brandon Bigsby in on 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday. We've been talking a lot of off-season stuff. Tennessee Brew Works, the official craft beer of the football off-season here on 102.5 The Game. Locally brewed, community-driven Tennessee Brew Works. Check them out. We always enjoy being there. DVD coming your way here in just a few minutes. But it is time. And I guess what we're going to do is you're going to do your normal thing, and then you're going to curate the birthdays today? Okay.
Got the birthdays locked and loaded.
I like that. With that, let's hit it. What day is it? And celebrity birthdays.
All righty. First on the list, we have grass is always browner on the other side of the fence day. Thought it was greener.
I thought it isn't always greener, so I guess, okay.
Yeah, I guess it's a different verbiage. National Doctors Day is today.
We love the doctors. They do a great job.
Fantastic.
We appreciate the doctors.
Let's see. Take a walk in the park day is today. So if you can go.
We love going to the park. You take a walk. It's good.
It's nice outside. Pencil day is today. So,
everybody needs a pencil. You got to have one.
I'm trying to keep it together. This is fantastic. He does a really good
Joe's not
impersonation.
here. I just have to, it just happens.
Got to do it.
You got to do it. Joe's not here. He's in Key West. He's having a good time.
And it fits the narrative here. National Virtual Vacation Day.
He's on a vacation. He deserves it. He's working. He's a hard worker.
National I'm in Control Day. Turkey Neck Soup Day. Never had that before.
I've heard I've heard good things, but I'm good.
I'll pass on the turkey neck.
Yeah.
Save the neck for me, Clark.
That could be a good question of the day, like the weirdest
soup.
Like weirdest dish.
Yeah, weirdest delicacy. Yeah, exactly. World Bipolar Day. Let's see, and then last but not least, Holy Monday. So the Monday before Easter.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's right. Easter coming up this weekend. All right, celebrity birthdays. Brando, you ready?
I
do this.
You
versus me.
Yeah, I got
You got David James back there to help you.
There is some good birthdays on this list, so
all right.
I'm ready for it. First, singer Celine Dion.
Brando goes first.
Go ahead, Brando.
56.
All right.
59.
58. One for Chaser.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Next on the list, Eric Clapton. Guitarist Eric Clapton.
Ooh, I'm going to say Eric Clapton is 74.
Okay.
I'm going to say 77.
81. So just on the outside corner there. Soccer player Sergio Ramos. Most notably played for Real Madrid. Brando.
35.
37.
40.
Just missed it.
Next is actor Paul Reiser. He was in Stranger
Friend of the
Things.
show?
Yes, you're right.
Mad About You?
Yes, indeed.
62.
65.
69.
Nice.
You guys are in the ballpark. Mike and Molly, next one coming up. Katie Mixon.
Okay.
How old is Katie Mixon, Brando?
58.
Okay.
55.
45. All right. Let's see. Journalist Pierce Morgan. How old is Pierce Morgan, Chase?
63.
77.
61. Chase is 2 up. All right. 2-0 Chase McCabe. Next on the list is Jordan Davis, country music artist and singer. How old is Jordan Davis, Brando?
35.
37.
38. Chase is starting to get one by one here, wheeling away.
Paint the outside
3-0.
corner.
Another country music artist, Justin Moore. How old is Justin Moore today, Chase McCabe?
41.
47.
42. Okay, Chase McCabe on the outside corner. And baseball reference here. Your favorite pitcher of right now, that is for the Braves, Chris Sale. How old is Chris Sale today, Brando?
34.
38.
37. He's feeling it, ladies and gentlemen. It's 5-0. Sticking with baseball, funny enough, Alex Bregman, third baseman for the Chicago Cubs, first year at Wrigley Field for him. How old is Alex Bregman?
33.
32.
32. All right, Brando's on the board.
Nice.
5-2. And then the last birthday I have here for sports, that is, Richard Sherman, known for his LOB Legion of Boom in Seattle. How old is Richard
Don't
Sherman?
you ever talk about me. Is it me or
It's you.
I'm going to say Sherm 41.
Okay.
37.
38. Brando.
Oh, wow.
All right. Nice. So we have 5-3. Let me scrap together some more birthdays real fast. All right, here we go. Jason Doring. He is a TV actor. Was born in Toledo, Ohio. Before his fame, he made his acting debut in 1994's television movie Someone She Knows. He is most remembered for his role as Logan Eccles in the popular TV show Veronica Mars.
Brando?
54.
53.
44. So we're getting there. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Comedian Pete Holmes from Lexington, Massachusetts. Stand-up comedian.
58.
52.
47. All right, I got a few more here. So let's see. It's pretty close. Brando is right behind Chase McCabe here. It's 5-3. Let's go 2 more here. Soccer player Jota Felipe. He was born in Lisbon, Portugal.
Who?
Exactly. I don't even know who this guy is. Plays for Celtic FC and Benfica.
Is it me?
It is you.
37.
31.
27.
Yeah. Okay.
And
well,
then,
that's it.
As I was saying, to wrap it up, we could go one more. Movie actress Gideon Adlon. She is known for,
Who?
I guess she's in the American Crime, When We Rise, in a 2019 Netflix docuseries called The Society. Brandon?
Brando?
Who?
Exactly. I don't know.
80.
59.
29.
Okay.
So Chase McCabe wins today.
There you go. That is going to do it for us here today. As Big Joe always says, unitycares.com. We want you to talk to somebody if you're feeling down. We're coming off the weekend. It's Monday. You got another week ahead, but we want you here. That is the most important thing. So reach out. Go to unitycares.com/Big Joe, and they can help you, or you can always reach out to all of us because we need you here. We want you here. And we love you. And as he always says, God loves you as well. Peace, love, rock, and roll. That is going to do it for us. DVD is coming your way next here on 102.5 The Game.